All right. I scared one of those down. Howdy folks, you're watching DEUCE. Today, we're going to install this MCarbo flat trigger into one of my Glocks. If you're not familiar with the MCarbo company, I've put some links up here where I have installed and tested out their trigger spring kits for the Marlin, for the Remington. They have them for pretty much everything out there now. The Thompson Center compass rifles, the older ones, the first generation. Fantastic upgrade for those triggers. Now, apparently, somebody at the company watched my previous video, which is linked at the end of this video, I guess, and they saw me struggling with this stupid New York trigger in this old Glock I've got. And they sent me an upgraded trigger here, the short stroke flat face trigger, which is all aluminum and metal, and it's very nicely constructed. All USA made, of course, because that's the way MCarbo does. For posterity's sake and for a future video, I will be keeping this New York trigger set up like this, but I do have several other Glocks and Glock-like models that I can install this in. So I'm going to go ahead and install this in my P90 Glock here and compare it to my original Generation 3 Glock 34. The trigger feels identical between the two, so I will be able to contrast and compare once this is installed in my P80 Glock. She is now installed, and it took me a little bit longer than normal to get it fully adjusted for this Glock because this is a P80 lower, not an official Glock lower. The adjustments that they have in the instruction manual didn't really fit that well with the P80 lower, so it did a little bit extra adjustment, and she works out just fine. Let me show you. It's not really intended to be a lightened trigger. The magic in this is, of course, the flat front face of the trigger and the short stroke of it. So let me show you that real quick. Now for comparison, I'm going to use the same slide and have two different videos playing side by side so you can compare them very easily here. First of all, the MCarbo trigger. There's the reset. And it pretty much barely moves. There's the reset. And if you want to see it all the way out, it's really not much beyond the reset. Pretty nice. And of course, everything else works just like factory right here. No problems whatsoever. Now, let's go to the range and test it out. We have now made it down to the farm with the new, and I'm not sure if even announced yet, MCarbo flat short stroke trigger for the Glock. And we're going to try it out in my P80. As you saw, I just installed it here. I just checked it out. It seems to dry fire just fine. Interesting note, the P80 lower is not legal for production competition in the USPSA competitions, but they are legal for limited and professional competitions in the USPSA sphere of competitions. I am nowhere near good enough to compete with the pros. I am barely good enough to hold my own in the limited competition. So what I do is shoot limited 10. You're limited to 10 rounds, but you can have a limited class pistol, but 10 rounds per magazine. That puts everyone at a disadvantage, and for some reason, I tend to do better in that situation. Don't know why. Oh, we got a stovepipe. All right. That stovepipe could have definitely just been an ammo situation. Again, I am using my own homebrew loads here. All right, get her up there. I have 2 more rounds in the magazine, and of course, 1 still in the chamber. And then I'll shoot some of those out and then transition to my other magazine. Oh, shoot. I wasn't ready. Man. All right. I definitely wasn't ready for that. Well, folks, so far I am really digging this trigger. I really like it here. The flat face trigger, very nice. That is a personal preference. Some people like the curved trigger because it gets the apex of the curved trigger, the part closest to you. makes the distance between the back strap and the trigger face smaller than a flat trigger. People like that sometimes. They have smaller hands. I have a medium-sized hand, and I've lost count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you've seen my reviews before, you'll know that I don't consider anything a perfect product, and the MCarbo trigger is no different. Now, it is very, very good. It does everything that it says it does, but there's one issue that I wish there was a workaround for, and that is the fact that it has 2 screws for adjustment, and it has those screws that are inaccessible when it's installed on the pistol. So any further adjustments you want to make with the trigger, you have to disassemble your pistol and take the trigger back out of your pistol to adjust it. Now, that shouldn't be an issue when you're using an actual Glock lower, but if you decide to install it in a P80 like I did, then expect some time invested in the adjustment. I have no idea how many rounds are in this. I'm just going to let her ride, get surprised, and then have to emergency do a reload. All right. I scared one of those down. This trigger is designed to fit just about every Glock that's a Generation 3 or Generation 4. Now, there are a few exceptions, so make sure you check out the website listing before you purchase. Yep, one round. What? Okay, there we go. If you're not familiar with the MCarbo company, just about everything they make is made in the USA by them, and it's a veteran-owned company. And while I'm recording this voiceover, let me just remind everybody that I get no extra money or compensation for this review. I basically received a trigger in the mail, I liked it, and I am making a video about it, and that's basically it. I get no extra money or kickbacks for any kind of future sales or anything of that nature. Just a cool company, cool product, and I thought I'd make a cool video. All right. Oh. Nice. I've now changed out the barrel and the recoil spring to a standard recoil spring weight. Throw a suppressor on there because, you know what? Why not? Now I'm going to be hitting steel, so I will go ahead and put my ears back on here. All right, eyes are on, ears are on. I believe all the cameras are still rolling. Oh. Nice. I just love shooting suppressed. It is so much fun. Well guys, that is it for me today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and go subscribe. A lot more is on the way. And if you're interested in this trigger or anything else from the MCarbo company, go ahead and check out their website. They have a ton of different offerings for a ton of different firearms. If you have any comments, questions, or show ideas, leave that in the comment box below the video. And as always, you guys have a great day. See ya.